Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to look at our 5th edition in a series that I call Revisiting. The Revisiting series is meant to take a look back at some old and not so old beauty favorites and iconic beauty products that might have gotten passed over through the years, pushed to the back of a drawer in favor of the new and the now. Fortunately or unfortunately, the beauty industry does tend to worship everything that's brand new and exciting. And sometimes we get lost in that. And we have a new product that gets pushed aside almost immediately for something else new, and months, years even, go by and we find these products gathering dust, but they're just as good and just as exciting as they always were. And today I'm gonna actually look at one of the most iconic items that you can find in so many makeup artist bags, and maybe, I wonder, at the bottom of one of your beauty drawers. Before we get into it, I will tell you that I will link all the previous 4 episodes of Revisiting below, where we look at brands like Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury, Natasha, Denona. But today, like I said, we are looking at one of the most iconic potions in the beauty industry to this day, and that is by the San Francisco company called Benefit. This is the Benetint Lip and Cheek Tint. Raise your hand at home if you have this or have tried it, and more hands will go up if I say we'll have heard of it. It's super famous. Do you know that this little bottle is 45 years old this year? Not this bottle. This bottle's new. But I mean the product itself is 45 years old, invented in 1976 in the company's storefront in San Francisco. We're going to talk about, we're going to try it out, because as you see today, I have a very minimal makeup look on. Just kind of an everyday no makeup look, as we say, that will really accommodate this Benefit Benetint. But the fun thing about this product isn't just how to use it and how iconic it is, but also the story behind it that I would love to share with you. In 1976, Jean and Jane Ford, who are the founders of Benefit, and we know Benefit for all the brow products and mascaras, but this was the first product these two ladies ever made when an exotic dancer from the Mission District in San Francisco came into their storefront and asked these ladies for a little bit of help. You see, at the end of her show, her striptease, she had the big reveal. And under the stage lights and with everybody looking, she wanted her big reveal to be more impactful, let's say. And she wanted a certain area to stand out a little bit more, look a little bit rubier, more cherry, if you know what I mean. So Jean and Jane Ford put their heads together and they crushed up rose petals and carmine. Carmine is the, carmine comes from an insect, I hate to say it, but it does make the red color throughout history, has made the kind of red and red-brown color that's in so much of our makeup even today. So they crushed that up, crushed it up, and they made a liquid. I will talk about what it's turned into today, but they made basically a tint that she, let's just be frank, colored her nipples with, and then on stage it made quite more of an impact against her skin. Now she told her friends backstage, and they started using the product as well, and pretty soon Benefit had a hit on their hands. They continued to make it and realized that it could be used so many other ways. I suppose it could be used the original way too, but also on lips, on cheeks, and as a basic overall stain. Now these days it's not actual rose petals, it's fragrance, but everything else is kind of the same, including the delivery system, which is a little brush, almost like a nail polish brush. And this one is still sold for $30 and still has the very distinct rose scent, which does dissipate, but it is a very rosy scent. I mean, this Benetint has a recognizably rosy scent. Now, this is also, I will say, morphed over the years into a more contemporary version, which is sold for $18, so less, and has a doe foot applicator. to make it slightly more contemporary and maybe a little bit easier to use. Same idea, but doe foot. I go for the old-fashioned look, the $30 one with the brush, and this will take forever to go through. The reason I have on today a very no makeup look is, to me, this Benefit product is perfect for these sort of days. So today, what I have on my face is the Auric, the Glow Lust, all over my face, little tiny bit of concealer. I did my brows. I just put a little bit of bronzer in the creases of my eye here and just some mascara. Not doing much today. It's a Sunday. Very casual look. Perfect for the Benetint. So let's use it together. Now I'm going to turn my mirror around here and use it one cheek at a time, and I'm just using my fingers. And I want to show you how it works here. One cheek at a time because it does dry. So the instructions say to go ahead and paint 3 stripes and then quickly blur them in with your fingers. So we'll do that. And rub it in. Okay, let's do a little bit more. So as you see, what I did, because it is a tint that soaks right in, I made sure to get that kind of high points, and then I went and got the apple, and I'll even paint a little more in. And as you see, I'm just patting. You can use a sponge if you want, if you're averse to using, you could use anything you want. Use your elbow if you can. If you can do that, let me know. That's pretty good. You'd have to use someone else's elbow. Just being silly. Okay, and we're going to get it on the lips too in a moment. Here is a very natural look using the Benetint. This side with some on, this side with nothing on. Let's do the other side, and then let's do the lips, and we'll talk about how it feels on the lips. Ooh, I really went overboard there. That's good though. Okay. The good thing about this is it's a tint. It blends right in. It is not sticky. It feels like water, like rose-scented water. And actually, it's funny. Have you ever baked? Those of you who like to bake, have you ever baked with like those drops that kind of give a rosy flavor? It smells exactly like that. It smells really natural and rosy. And it never looks too much. I think I one time used a little bit too much of it on my cheeks. I just put a little concealer and it just goes right away. This just blends in, no stickiness at all if you've never used this product. Because I also like this series. I do have a lot of viewers who are kind of just getting into the beauty realm and are looking for these kind of iconic, classic products. And this is a great one to have, I mean, from makeup artists all the way down to beginners. For me, when I was very young, this was kind of one of the first products that really got me interested in beauty because it is so mistake-proof. Look at that. It's just a beautiful flush. Those of you who haven't used this in a while, is it bringing back some memories? I hope so. Let's put it on the lips and then let's talk about it, because I have dry lips too. If you do, I know you. I have dry lips too. And in fact, they're pretty dry today. I didn't put any balm on. Now, this is a stain you can pat on with your fingers. I'm painting it on. Because it's a stain, you don't have to worry about being perfect. You know, it just gives that little bit of color. Now, some of you might ask a few questions here. Does it form in lines? A little bit. It's a stain. I mean, you know, it's not perfect. But because it's a stain, it really kind of is your lips but better. And I love that it just comes in this one color. I want to get some clear gloss though. Stay right there. Okay, I picked up Halo from Hourglass. This is the wonderful, wonderful lip gloss, and it's clear with a little bit of reflective pearls in it. But I want to show you what you can do with this. Before we do, this would make it mask unfriendly a little bit, of course. The great thing about having this flushed cheek and this tinted lip, I mean, talk about mask friendly. You're just never, ever, ever going to see it. Ever. It's a tint. It's soaked in. Does it build up? Yes. In fact, before we put on this gloss, let me show you. Let me build it up a little bit more, make it a little bit more striking. And then I will zoom you in so you can see it on a dry lip, because I do have very dry lips. Okay, so there it is, really in there. I wanted you to see how you could build it up. I usually do not choose to build it to this extent. There's no flavor, just that rose smell that does dissipate. Now this is a full cheek and a full lip with it on there. Look how much you can do from barely anything all the way to this. Let me just be quiet for a second if I can and zoom you in on my lips. As you see, if your lips are dry, it will fill those little dried areas a little more, but it's still that really popsicle stain, pretty color. And what I'm going to show you now is if we take this clear halo from Hourglass and put it over the top, what we get. And you don't have to use clear, but I'm just trying to keep the integrity of the color. It doesn't move the stain. And just gives it that little bit more of a kind of pretty glow. And I like it actually less stained. I like it just one swipe and then a little bit of lip gloss if I'm, for some reason, not wearing a mask or on a Zoom meeting or something like that. I just think it gives it that really pretty color. And if you worry about it drying out your lips or settling in too much, the gloss also helps that along too. But once the gloss goes, you still have the stain and it lasts for hours on the cheeks and on the lips. If you have an oilier complexion, this blends just beautifully and works just the same. It does not clog pores. It is like a watery tint. Like I wish I could just kind of show it to you. Let me see if I can just kind of, it's not really running down, but as you see, it's just kind of like a little drop of watery color that will indeed run down your hand, almost like a food coloring consistency. This is certainly a classic product that I just don't ever hear mentioned anymore, and it really deserves it. It is as good as it was the day it was introduced in 1976 on that stage in a Mission District exotic dance hall. And hey, we all are a little bit exotic, right? Let me know if you have this in your drawer somewhere, if you haven't used it in a while, if you have, or if you're new to the makeup scene, if it's something you would be interested in. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hey, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.